Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the show tonight. So, tonight's show is going to be about the rules of Freemasonry. The rules of Freemasonry. So, as we begin to gather ourselves tonight, I know it's kind of late on the East Coast, but I appreciate you. And I want to send a big shout out to Destiny Radio blog. 90, I think it's 48.1 out of Baltimore. I was on their radio broadcast tonight. I want to send a big shout out to them. Once again, that is Destiny Radio. That's 48.1. I'm gonna make sure I say that right. That is let me see, I got it right here. Ta da ta ta da ta. I think it's I could have sworn it said Destiny Radio. Okay, yeah, Destiny, not 48.1 Talk Radio. I want to thank them for having me on tonight, and I had a great time with them, and they asked us in regards to our visit with the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, who's now a Mason, and they wanted to give us, ask us our take on it and what we thought about it, and it was a great show. So a big shout out to Destiny Radio 48.1 Talk Radio. I was on their show, and I just want to send them a big shout out and let them know that we had a great time with them, and it was just good. It's good. We're not gonna let that fire go out. We have some other things that are coming up on the agenda, and we'll be sharing that with everyone. We got some other things cooking, and I can tell you what, if all goes well, we're going to be doing something in Dallas. I can tell you that. If all goes well, I'm just throwing you a little cookie out there real quick. As far as I got things pan out, we got something coming to Dallas. We're really trying not. This fire is not going to go out. So if you think that this is just it, that was that, no, sir. I keep telling y'all some other stuff is happening, and that is the truth. And you could take that or let it alone. And we're about to really just light some fire up under some ISIS, and go that route. That's what we're about to do. And as the song says, there's no stopping us now. We are on the move. Yes, I did say in Dallas. We got something that's gonna be popping off in Dallas. I'm just waiting for everything to kind of fall into place, and that's it. Can we get a little hint? Nah, that's the best I can give you right now, because it was just, this is fresh. I mean, it's fresh, and I gotta allow the people who are behind that to do their footwork and make sure that it happens. But I do know that they did state Dallas. That's the best I can give you right now. And there's some other things that are happening, and we're really going to push this agenda on it. There's a movement, and it's not going to be televised. You get it as I get it, and I'll share it. And we're going to get on tonight's show. We're going to be talking about the rules of Freemasonry. So no matter what jurisdiction you're in, this show welcomes you to come on. And if you feel the need that you want to call in tonight, you really want to call in tonight and have that conversation, that number is 619-985-1184. If you want to call in tonight and have that conversation about the rules of Freemasonry. Because what I've heard a lot of is that, Brother Hawkins, your jurisdiction don't follow the rules of Freemasonry. Well, let me put this out plainly, squarely, and clearly. First of all, who made the rules? Secondly, if the person or individuals of jurisdiction who made those rules were for them. Okay? They were not my rules, they were rules for them. Then people like to say, well, what about the landmarks of Freemasonry? Well, what about them? Because I can tell you this for sure. Every Grand Lodge, no matter how big or small, do not abide by all of those landmarks that you may find in Freemasonry. Okay? Every Grand Lodge has their own bylaws and constitution which governs it. That is what makes that Grand Lodge independent and sovereign. Okay? They're independently and they're sovereign. Now, they may be part of a conference of some sorts where other Grand Lodges may take part, but that Grand Lodge should be sovereign. That's what makes Masonry so unique. Now, in talking about the rules of Freemasonry and those rules that some like, some say, no, that don't fit me. And that's quite all right. But we're going to talk about the rules. So If you're on here tonight and you want to call in, be it from whatever jurisdiction you're a part of, call into this show, because we're talking about the rules of Freemasonry. And just let's say this, for instance. They say in Freemasonry that in order for you to be recognized as a Masonic jurisdiction or a body of Freemasonry, therefore your lodge must be chartered from a competent Grand Lodge. Now, my question would be, who decides that that lodge is competent? Okay? Or that Grand Lodge is competent. All right? They also say, well, you must be able to trace your lineage back to the UGLE, Scotland, or Ireland. I don't know who told you that lie. That is false. That is a lie. Okay? Then they said, well, you know, your lodge must have received that charter from a competent Grand Lodge. Now, I will agree with that. However, on the point of this, no military lodge should be able to form a Grand Lodge or any lodge. No military lodges issues a charter to anybody. No one man issues a charter to anybody. So let's have an understanding about this. So let's say that you have Grand Lodge A and B. They get along, but there's a Grand Lodge C, right, that Grand Lodge A likes. Grand Lodge A says, well, I would like to have Grand Lodge C as a visitation. But Grand Lodge B says, I'm good. I don't need Grand Lodge C. That has nothing to do with Grand Lodge A and B, because they have that enmity with each other. A lot of people like to get caught up and tangled up in negations and you're not this and you're not that. But let's look at the rules of Freemasonry. And do you really abide by those rules? Are you really practicing this thing we call Freemasonry? Have you been initiated, passed, and raised? Some say yes, but others would say, well, it wasn't in a competent lodge. Well, who decides that that lodge is competent? Who makes that decision other than your Grand Lodge? And who makes the decision that that Grand Lodge is competent? Who makes that decision? See, a lot of times we get caught up and we get passionate about our jurisdictions. But today we're going to break down the barriers of Freemasonry that we put up. See, we put up barriers. And the ancient customs of Freemasonry, for which my jurisdiction do practice, we practice those. Okay? And the ancient customs of Freemasonry, it says that you as a master mason should travel in foreign countries and receive master wages as such. That's what it says. Right? Now, what are foreign countries? What are master wages? We know what fellowcraft wages are, but what are master wages? You ever thought about that? So tonight, we're going to have that conversation. We need to understand that Masonry, once again, I'm going to say this over and over again. It is bigger than where you're at. If all you got is your jurisdiction, and you don't go beyond your borders, then there's a problem. There's a problem. I'm going to tell you why there's a problem. How is it that I can tell you that I'm a Mason, but I can't travel in foreign countries and I can't receive master wages? How is it I can tell you that I'm a Mason, but I'm limited to where I'm at? See, I've learned this along this journey of 32 years in being a Freemason, and I've said it before, and I'm going to repeat it again. I go where I'm accepted, not just tolerated. I go where I'm respected, and not just kicked to the side. See, that's me. When given an invitation to travel and to visit other lodges, I'm accepted. I'm recognized by them. If you don't recognize my jurisdiction, well, that's on you. It has nothing to do with me. Because we practice the ancient customs of Freemasonry in this jurisdiction. Your jurisdiction may practice something else. And it has to follow its constitution and bylaws. Okay? That's what it has to follow. I would tell you a story. We had a brother about 5 years ago to visit our lodge from Scotland. Yeah, I said Scotland. He visited our lodge. And upon visiting our lodge, this particular individual was dressed in a skirt or kirk. You know, it was, and he had a little knife on his ankle, you know, and he had the little strap, you know, that came across his white shirt on, and I want to say a bow tie, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like looking at this gentleman as the Tyler is like Q&A, and I'm like, But once he entered and came on in and sat amongst the brothers, we was all interested in this young man from Scotland that visited Hosea Lodge number 7, Ancient, Free, and Accepted Mason. Yes, I have to go back and look on the book that he signed. This has been about 7 years ago. And we was like, okay, well, who invited you? Apparently, my senior warden at the time was in the service, who was saying that he was going to a lodge meeting, and that brother was like, okay, can I come? Sure, you can come. And he was vouched for, so therefore he was able to get in. And yes, a knife. He had a knife on at the bottom of his strap to his ankle there, you know. I was like, I'm just telling you what I seen, brother, when he was visiting. And we had a great time, and the fellowship was wonderful. And this is what we have to understand when we're thinking about Freemasonry and the rules of Freemasonry and who makes those rules. Look, if you're not willing to abide by Grand Lodge A rules of recognition, then he's not going to recognize your Grand Lodge. They're not. However, they will make modifications for you, you know, if that need be, or you make modifications for them. But the rules of Freemasonry is based upon that jurisdiction. It is. Now, some would argue, no, it's based upon these. It's based upon this, and it's based upon that. But if my bylaws and my constitution says this, that is what I'm going by. I'm not going by anything else. I'm going by what my constitution and my bylaws say in regards to my jurisdiction, because that is that which governs my jurisdiction. Now, there's some unification about Freemasonry that we must understand. All signs, grips, words, passwords are more than likely the same. Okay? Now, there may be a little hand over here, a little hand over there, however, but they're really all the same. Okay? In my travels, I've learned that. And I'll tell you what. See, if you go across the border, which is I'm 15 minutes from the border of Mexico, and you go visit over there, you're going to have a rude awakening. You are going to have, because when you think, now all initiations are about the same. They really are. But some initiations make you sit back and don't want to participate. I'm just telling you what I've experienced for myself. Okay? This is something you have to sit back and say, nah, I'm good. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this. Because there are some things that happen in Freemasonry in other parts of the world doesn't necessarily happen in your jurisdiction. It doesn't. Take, for instance, in some jurisdictions, I know they have a coffin. Yeah, I know they have a coffin. They put you in the coffin. Yeah, I said it. They put you in it. Okay? Some jurisdictions, I know, they take you to a place where the dead is at and put you in a grave. So when you talk about, oh, you know, this and that, let me tell you, man, in some of these jurisdictions we go visit, we've been to, it'll make you shake your head. You just sit and watch and be a guest and don't say nothing. Because the rules of Freemasonry, it differ. It varies from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. You know, some say, well, what if you're an expelled Mason? You can't go nowhere. You expel. Let me tell you. An expelled Mason is expelled from that jurisdiction. He has no more rights and privileges as a Mason to that jurisdiction. That's an expelled Mason. But if someone wanted to bring that expelled Mason in to their jurisdiction, and they found him to be worthy and well qualified, they can bring him in. They can. Now, you can get mad all you want to. You can get upset you can say everything you want to say. But that jurisdiction who brought in a Mason that you expelled, They have that right to. Now, they also can call you up and say, okay, what happened? This brother say he comes from your jurisdiction. He was expelled. And they may ask you, okay, so what happened? And you may give them the gauntlet. You may say, well, he did this, this, and this, and this. He broke Masonic rule over here. And then they can go and say, well, this, and this, and this, we don't abide by those. That doesn't affect us. And they can bring that brother in because they have a right to. And you can be mad all you want to. It happens. It happens. This is why you must ask yourself this, brothers. And I've said it before. Why is it that a mainstream brother never leaves his jurisdiction and goes anywhere else? But we leave ours and go there. I just want you to think for a moment. Just for a moment. And a lot of brothers often say, well, Brother Hawkins, you always bring up the PHA and the Ancient Free. And the reason I bring us up all the time, because we don't think. We don't think universality of Freemasonry. We think jurisdictions Freemasonry. We don't think. If we thought a little bit, we would understand Freemasonry a lot better, and we would be in a better place. We wouldn't be having the same topic and discussion that we've been having for the past 120 years. We wouldn't be having it. And some say, well, we wouldn't be having it if there were so many other these Grand Lodges or so many of those Grand Lodges. That may be true also. So what is the solution? Oh, they always break the rules. What is the solution? The solution is to come to the table. Let's have a conversation. That's the solution. In order for me to understand somebody, I must have a conversation with that person. In order for me to understand somebody, I must have a conversation with that person. If I do not have a conversation with that person, I might believe. Whatever somebody tells me about them, I might believe, because I have not talked to them personally. And this is what happens a lot of times with us. We don't talk to each other. We talk at each other. We do. We don't show each other the respect that each of us deserve as a man, as a human, as a brother Mason. Once we begin to show each other the respect that we deserve from each other, a lot of the disdain and the things and the issues that we may have with each other will soon go away. They will. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. I'm saying they will go away to the effect that it doesn't affect the bigger picture of Freemasonry. See, the bigger picture of Freemasonry is being unified. I didn't say united, I said unified. There's a difference between being united and unified. Look it up for yourself. And when you are unified, then you are more acceptable to understanding what Freemasonry is all about. If Freemasonry is out to make a good man become better, and that is that primary goal, the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of, the brotherhood of man, charity and relief, if those are our mottos, if those are the things that pushes us to do what we do as Freemasonry, if those are the things that help us to move forward in the order of the Eastern Star, if those are those things that we're supposed to portray, those 5 points, heritage is supposed to be that you as a Mason supposed to exemplify. Well, what the hell is going on? Respect each other enough to even give each other that amount of respect that is due. Somebody needs to help me with that, because something is missing in the rules of Freemasonry that somebody is not following. When you want to talk about rules, we may have some similarities. Then as Masons, and when you are able to do that, then you're able to see the true essence of what Freemasonry is. Because as long as you think that Mason, you're sadly mistaken about Freemasonry. If this is where it ends and begins for you, you can have that. See, Freemasonry for me begins in a Masonic hall. It begins there. But the growth of Freemasonry is on the outside of those four walls, where I exemplify that which I claim to be. If I tell you I'm a Mason, and in the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man, charity, relief, is those things, and protecting the widows or orphans are those things we as Masons are supposed to do. And I exhibit those across all lines of Freemasonry, across all jurisdictions of Freemasonry. I exhibit those based upon the rules for which I was brought up under. Then, what do you got to say? What do you have to say? I'm just putting out the rules. I'm letting you know what the rules are, since some of us are so caught up in the rules. And this is a topic that I think we really need to have. So greetings to everybody who's on tonight. I just want to send a big shout out to the Traveling Man. What's going on? And I want to send Brother Terrell, what's going on? I appreciate you. Christopher Jackson, what's happening with you? If no one speak of the order, then we have to deal with the rules and what practices they are. I appreciate Brother Jackson. If you want to call in and chime in tonight, you know you're certainly welcome to do so. That phone line is open and you have the number, sir. There is no place like your home lodge. There isn't. Anybody something different is lying to you, you know? As a brother Mason, we all should show love and respect for each other, to lean and to learn to do our. How many of us is able to some things that we should be talking about? We should, you know? And no, I'm not looking for anybody's acceptance on what my conversation is tonight. It is a conversation that came up, and I'm just sharing it with you, and benefits of masonry that goes beyond jurisdiction. If someone was expelled from any jurisdiction in the world, he couldn't petition my lodge. Well, that's a lie. Let me tell you why that's a lie, Traveling Man. Because you don't recognize my lodge, and you don't recognize me as a Mason. So even if my jurisdiction expelled me as a Mason, I can come knock on your door. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's to be honest, anything your rules, then even if I'm expelled from my jurisdiction, I can knock on your door. I can knock on your door. Because I'm not a Mason according to you. And I'm not recognized according to you. So I should be able to knock on your door, fill out the petition, and not even mention that I was a Mason in any jurisdiction. Hold on just a second. Welcome to the show, Brother Jackson. How you doing, sir? Alaikum salam. Go ahead, talk to me.
As I commonly say, most of the time, now the questions and comments that many of us have, it clearly shows that we don't read. The way that you heard, the way that you verbalize about being able to go somewhere else, it's correct. You know, it's just the ethical part of it, just what people assume, what an expulsion is, anything higher. A masonic death means you are done. You are treated as if you are an outcast, an infidel, a nothing. But what people miss is that when you get expelled, you are no longer a Mason. It's not just that I'm expelled in my jurisdiction, and so now I'm going to go to Tony and go to his jurisdiction, and I'm still a Master Mason. What people miss is that you have to start over from a Masonic death because you've been expelled. It clearly states that you have, that you're nothing, but most of that.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. If my jurisdiction doesn't consider you to be a Mason at all, anyway, so even if you are expelled, because they already don't consider you to be a Mason,
Here's the thing, because you know me, and I don't mix my words. I don't know who they is, so you must be talking about Farrakhan. St. Paul does not consider you a Mason. You sign the paper forms and denounce what you came from, et cetera, et cetera. I got that. But here's the thing. I've never seen them make someone start over. I've seen them recognize, I've seen them, as they call it, heal process. The heal process is an innovation. But I get it and I understand what they're saying. Like I said, what we're dealing with is expulsion. You have been tried, you can only be expelled from the Grand Lodge. You can't be expelled from the subordinate lodge. So you get expelled from the Grand Lodge, and now you want to go somewhere else. And so you go somewhere else and they still recognize you. I've already experienced that. I've seen it. And so you accepting everything to a certain degree. So like I've always said before, you can't take something from me that you didn't give me. It's all about the finance. It's all about the finance. But if I've been expelled, I have to be treated as if I was a candidate and start over. That's the law. Now, if you want to do something else, it's an innovation. I get what you're saying in reference to the rules of Freemasonry. No one can say what the rules are because everyone does different things in their jurisdiction. But the problem is there's not a lot of uniformity and a lot of unification in things. The only thing that really is the same in Masonry is the order of business. There are no secrets in the lodge. The only secret that you have in Masonry is what's in your bank account. All the order of business is the same. The order of business is the same. Everyone does these different initiations. Okay, well, yeah, different initiations are different. But it tells you in the independence degree that you will not harm a brother. You won't put your hands on a brother. But look at how people haze. They do this, that, and the other. And that's where the problem lies. I've been hazed in every degree, except for a certain higher degree. But I never touched a man. There was only one person that I touched up, and that's when he jacked around for a year and a half. So he had to wear it for everybody. But I've never touched anyone because I'm going to haze your brain. I'm going to ask you things because you should be proficient in your work. But here's another problem. It says, has suitable proficiency in the preceding degree. That only works from 3 down. Everything else from 4 up, it only asks, are you a member of such and such? So you really don't owe anyone any proficiency. You have to pay for those out. So we get caught up in picking people out and holding degrees from people. Well, I don't think you're ready. You should never tell a man what you think he should have. From the 4th degree on up, those are paid for degrees. The petition says so. Is he a member? It doesn't ask if he has suitable proficiency when you go into the Royal Law. It doesn't ask for suitable proficiency in the Christian. It asks, are you a member? But because you have everybody in the same building, you know what every house everyone is doing.
Yeah.
But if you were really practicing the art of the order, the only people that meet in your Grand Lodge is Royal Lodge down. Because you're really not a master Mason until you become a Royal Lodge Mason. That's why it tells you that you're sublime. You're sublime as a 3rd degree Mason. You're not a master Mason until you become a Royal Lodge. Because you have polished up your mastership. So it's about the rules that you practice where you are. That's what it is. If we accept brothers from other places, anyone who wants to come to me, that's fine. But I'm going to do my so-called due diligence and call and ask them, what happened? What kind of brother is it? Because it's always the internal qualification, not the external. Some people don't want you at all if you committed a felony. Some people don't want you at all if you had a felony before you come in. For the same matter that God gives you 2nd, 3rd, 15th, and 155th chances, you should do the same. But we don't do that in trial. After a trial is over with, you should be treated as if nothing ever happened. But that doesn't work because you ain't even out of the room yet. You down in the club talking about what somebody did. So I get when we try to become stickling for what's real and what's right. But it's not, we can't pick and choose what we decide we're going to be righteous about. I hear a lot of different things. I'm not concerned with Prince Hall's troubles, what they're going through, they split, none of that. I'm not concerned with how, people can just up and jump up and they got this, that, and other. I get what they're saying. What we don't understand about the order is that your obligation is what makes you a Mason. Nothing else. Not no sheet of paper, not no old white men that sit on a mountain and say, yeah, you are such because we say so. I watched the National Baptist Convention, the National Coalition of Baptist Preachers, tell another preacher what he was and was not, based upon what they knew. There's nothing new under the sun. All of this belongs to God. So when you want to tell somebody who they are based upon what somebody else said, think about this. Everybody who's listening, whether you receive it or not, when you have to get approval from another man to talk to another man, you need to start sitting back. And when you start telling people that, well, you can't talk to him about this because he ain't a part of it, you are what is in fact spoken. Because you're not dealing with a man as you say. See, I was a 1963 Mason mom before I ever got my independence position.
Hey, brother Jackson, you getting some feedback on the back end.
Because I'm on my issue. Hold on. Okay. So, y'all hear me?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
All right. So, I was a 96 degree Mason long before I became an apprentice. See, 96 is honorary. 95th is honorary. The last working degree of Masonry is the 90th. It's just in a different rite. There are a lot of different rites in this world. That's what your ritual is, a rite.
Uh-huh.
But when you start innovating and start doing all those other things, real traveling is not necessarily you going into foreign countries. It's about you dealing with the different rites. You can't keep talking about you African and you black and you this, that, and the other, and you practicing European Masonry. Stop it. So you can't be talking about you this, that, and the other. I understood all of what. See, we can always be technical all night about the different idiosyncrasies about this, that, and the other, the back and forth. We have an issue with two dead men over 100 and some odd years. And the same things that I said before that you wanted to expel John G. Jones for, 85% of people do that now. Counterfeits. You didn't answer the summons. You found some reason not to go to the Grand Lodge meeting because you had something else better to do. You wanted to see the game. You went to the park, whatever it was, but you didn't show up. So we can't stop. We can't keep doing that. But it's easy to deal with. It's easy to deal with. I'm okay without you recognizing me. I can see. Your woman can see. People around you can see. We all have our own stories to tell. We all do this, that, and I apologize. He was offended. He didn't bring it to me. I had to hear it from other people talking about it. So I called him and I said, well, listen, you said that the conversation we had was inappropriate. I apologize for that. But there's other things, I've always out my back to stay strong. Even when things look like they're wrong, I'll always wear it. I'll always protect the integrity of the people involved. Because see, I don't need to get into saying, well, hey, so-and-so did this to defend myself. Because when you get caught up and you don't know how to see, as I always say, the less you talk about people, the more they decrease in your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what a whole lot of people had to say. I know about the email conversations that came to the minister about this, that, and the other, and people threatening this, that, and the other because he may not have known. But their brothers were talking about, can they take the degrees from him? No, can't nobody take nothing from him. We explained to him different jurisdictions do different things. But with us, and over across that water around the world, you are authorized to do this, that, and the other. You are Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. With or without these Masonic degrees, who on this planet got the balls to tell that man he can't come in the door because he ain't got the grip? Are you out of your mind? So let's stop playing those games. Because he coming in the door as a guest. So we're not going to play those games. So people can be mad. Alfredo, you mad? I heard you mad. You talking this, that, and other. But it's fine.
Wait. Time out. You squares that in there. Did you just Did you just come out and say something to somebody?
Yeah, a lot of people mad, man, and they haven't said. See, I hear all kinds of conversations because the people that they talking to like me better than they like them.
Oh, wow.
So I'm always hearing everything. That's why I don't really say too much about it. I don't talk around corners, man. That's the type of dude I am. I'll call your name out. If you're mad because you're mad about these pop-up grand lodges, this, that, and the other, do you understand that one man can be a grandmaster at any point in time alone? But it takes a lot. It takes 3 lodges to make a grand lodge under him. I don't need 75 to be a grandmaster. All I need is the move to be made such. But most people don't understand that because they're told things. And when you're told something, that's all you deal with. You've been driving that Ford all your life, but you don't even want to accept the fact that your great grandfather drove a Toyota, because you're going to find a reason to stay in the Ford. Since you're ancient, you're still wearing the G in your emblem. You're still getting the G in your apron. That ain't ancient. That's modern. A lot of the practices that you do are modern. When you're talking about ancient, there's a reason why you understand who's ancient. It was never St. John as being the pillars of masonry. That ain't ancient free. That's modern. That's free. It was King Solomon and Moses who were the true pillars around that point within the circle. That's ancient free. When you said you were from the Holy St. John, that told people you were an old ancient mason. But you don't get in the old books. You keep the newer stuff. That's why so many books have been watered down, because that's how we are. It's a lot easier to deal with this, that, and the other, to keep us divided. Now we got all the way to the back. Now we just black masons, this, that, and the other. It's very strange. We spend all of this energy about who is and who is not in Mason.
But you know what?
Doing that
That's
you ain't doing none of that to none of these churches.
But
you ain't never set foot up in none of these churches saying that.
But that's one of the things I loved about when we were sitting down talking with the minister, and he asked a few questions in regards who could come and take these things that we have given him away. When we explained,
And what did I tell him?
Nobody.
I said, let me be very clear about something. Ollie Spencer has 98 degrees, but Ollie Spencer has less authority than Weston Jarvis, who has 97 degrees. Jarvis is at Hierophant around the world. I don't care what you're posting on Facebook, he oversees this, that, and other, but he has been to 16 countries and got juice in 16 countries. Some of y'all can't go nowhere because you're still on child support. So we're not going to sit up here and say who is and who is not.
Okay.
This ain't about who got more this, that, more this, that. It's about what it is that you're able to do. As I told another brother, if everybody in the jurisdiction brought 15,000, if everybody in the room came together, if you're not a shot caller, you don't make any decisions. If Prince Hall, National Grandmaster say, you know what, we done with this. We need to unify and be together, blah, blah, blah. There's still going to be people that say, no, I ain't going. So you're going to be defiant anyway. Some people just got to rebel your spirits. When I sat down there in 2006, I believe, it was myself, a few other brothers, we attended the installation at Prince Hall Grand Lodge down at Progressive Baptist Church. No, I think it was Pilgrim. It was Pilgrim Baptist Church, I believe, when they had the installation. And Jerry Butler, Grandmaster Jerry Butler at the time, he said, most of y'all was lying when you gave the obligation. Because you really didn't mean that. You really didn't mean what you said. You just wanted to get in. And I never forgot that. Most people are just like those things. Some of the things and practices that you do to get in the order, man, you would do that at gunpoint. But you did it to get in because you thought it had something that you can get out of. Then when you find out you really got to seek and study this, you're mad. I wonder how many of you would do this for free. If you didn't know you would get some type of little gratuity to go somewhere, or the lodge doing something for you, would you do this for free? I've never, ever been turned away from a door that I knocked on. And I've never knocked on a whole lot of doors that I wanted to be in. When I meet a brother in the street, I judge him based upon his character, his behavior, his obligations. I don't ask him where you hail from. I don't give a damn. You got a flat. You need something. Your child's sitting there hurt. Do we miss all of that? I don't need to know what you know. I don't need to know what you know in this book. You need me, whether you're a brother or not. So I do it by my duty. It's about your duty. That's why it says she's the fairest among thousands. That means that all the things in life, she's the fairest mother. She's the fairest wife. She's the fairest sister. She's the fairest matron. She's the fairest candidate. Because she wears and she walks her motto. But you're sitting there talking about she a worshipful bastard. But you don't even square your actions. You don't even circumscribe. You don't keep nothing within due bounds. You do none of that. That's why I like the 4th degree charge. The 4th degree calls out the imposters.
Yeah.
That's why it says select master. Because you're handpicked. But if you don't understand that, then you're going to keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so I'm going to explain something because brother was like, well, I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the conversation. So the conversation tonight we're having is the rules of Freemasonry. And how does those rules apply to your jurisdictions? Because all jurisdictions have certain rules that they abide by. Some of the rules may come out of the customs of Freemasonry, and then they are combined with the Constitution and bylaws of that Grand Lodge, which governs it.
You got to define that, bro.
Huh?
You got to define that. Customs. Remember now, the landmark, the written landmarks are the 25. I can't remember the white guy's name who wrote the Masonic books. He was in a lot of people's pages. He wore glasses. Somebody called his name, and I'll finish what I was talking about with him. But you got the landmarks, which are the written landmarks, the customs and usages. The unwritten landmarks are the customs and usages. The things that have been going on in your Grand Lodge from time immemorial. That means from long ago. And those things may be different.
Right.
No Grand Master could ever be brought up on charges unless you put it into your bylaws. That's why people use Mackey's jurisprudence as a reference guide. It's not the law. It's a reference guide to something that you may want to do.
Man, thank you. It's a reference guide.
Because the white dude that wrote the books, he told me. He said they still use the term freeborn. So what that tell you? Can't no niggas come up in here. but they only use 10 landmarks. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They only use 10 landmarks. So they told us.
So once again, tonight the conversation is about the rules of Freemasonry. And we're talking about those rules that some Grand Lodges abide by, and how those customs come about, and how do they affect the Master Mason who travels and who visit these lodges. And as I've said often, and I know Brother Jackson has said it, I don't go no place where I'm not welcome. So any door I knock on, I'm getting in. It's just that simple.
Yep.
You know,
I don't miss nothing I never had.
Absolutely.
My followers have increased 250 to 300 since we left the house. I get a friend request every 4 minutes, and I swear on all that I love, every 4 minutes I'm getting a friend request. Every few hours I got 100 more requests. But a lot of them, I get brothers that hit me up. I've had brothers that hit me up and asked me, well, the minister this, he first saw this. My brother asked, he wanted to go through his catechism with me on the inbox. And this is exactly what I told him. He said, I'm such and such. I said, okay, how you doing? He said, where you hail from? I said, Illinois. He said, is that all? I said, what else did you want? He said, are you a traveling man? I said, yeah, I travel all the time. I'm going to Houston in a few weeks. He said, oh, okay, brother. And then I said, he said, my mother's name, he said something about my mother's, something, I knew what he was saying, but he said my mother's such and such, and she's 19 years old. I said, okay, well, my mama's name is such and such, and she's 65. I said, now, when you feel like talking masonically with me without labels, then we can dialogue. I said, but other than that, keep going, and I'm going to keep going back with you. Mm-hmm. I said, you see how asinine I sound? I said, that's how you sound, trying to be clever. I said, but to answer your question, no, the minister's not Prince Hall. I'm such and such. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I'm a Mason. That's it. I'm not a black Mason. I'm not a Prince Hall Mason. There's no such thing as a Prince Hall Mason. You're either a Mason or you're not.
I keep telling people that all the time.
Then you stuck. Ain't no Prince Hall Mason. Ain't no International Mason. Ain't no Federal Mason. Ain't no, you either a Mason or you're not. You either the police or you're not. You either a man or you're not. There's no kind of man. Well, I'm a transgender. You a trans what? You a transmission? How you a transgender? You still a man. I don't care what you cut off. You still a man.
Boy, you got me rolling.
But I mean, let's we always talk about keep it 100, whatever. You do things to appease the masses. The reason why Prince Hall didn't do it, the reason why you got all of this that you got to say, is because you didn't want to lose the influence of the white man because you brought Minister Farrakhan into your fold. You will bring a homosexual. You will bring a rapist. You will bring a murderer. You will bring a thief. You will keep people that sleep with your wives in your lodge and you'll discuss it, but you don't want the minister in there. So who's really bogus? Man, stop it. Just cut it out.
But is there rules though, bruh? I mean, we're talking about the rules of Freemasonry, okay?
And now you have to live by those rules.
You have to live by those rules.
No matter what you said, no matter what they said, there's 2 articles pulled out. We had the first article, then we had the second article, and that was fine. Whether it was to appease Prince Hall or whatever they said, it's okay. It doesn't change. No matter what you add onto it, it's still eggs. I don't care if you call it quiche. It's still eggs. I don't care how you. It's 1,000 ways to do chicken. You can give it 900 different names. It's still yard bird. It's still chicken. We did it, and we're moving on from there. That will never be done again.
It sure won't.
February may be the last time, unless it's by the hand of God, that you even hear the minister speak again. The name of success. I found that out tonight.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
Yes. You know, he may deal with it the Savior's Day. I'll be there Sunday to represent all of us. Whoever's there or not there, I'll be there Sunday, 9 o'clock when they check in. Because I don't do lines. I'm going to be in the front row if they don't pull me up on the stage, sit in the back. But I'm not looking for none of that. I'm going to be there because I know I'm supposed to be there.
Well, you know what? I'll be watching it live. For sure. For sure. You know, I don't call to talk. I don't call to talk all night. I don't call to be the know it all, this, that, and other. I call because I was fed a lot. You know, just to answer some of the questions, because it wasn't pissing me off, but the ignorance of a lot of these brothers. Well, did they just give him did they give it to him, or did he earn it? 64 years, man. 64 years of being a father to you when your own raggedy father was not. And you wouldn't call him dad. I'm talking about a man being in your life, not the minister. Well, he ain't my birth father. Right, but your birth father don't even know you. I'm talking about a man in your life now. Those of you who are so-called stepfathers, like you step on children, you took that narrative. You either is a father and then there's a daddy. Only one man can be both. Talk to me. See, when you somebody's daddy, whether the child calls you that or not, they feel that. They do.
But you're looking for the words. You know, now all of a sudden, well, we ain't on topic. What are the rules? The rules about masonry is the same about life. What is this? A beautiful system of morality, veiled in allegory. So let's talk about it from the morality that you got at home. You're not a good brother because you're not a good brother in life. You're not a good sister because you're not a good sister in life. You're a horrible leader. That's why you're a horrible worshipful master. That's why you didn't sit for the year. You can't raise money in your own house, and you're the only one in there. But you want people to do this, that, and the other for you in the lodge. We got too many excuses. Masons make progress, not excuses.
They do. The process is like you said, okay, if masonry makes progress and not excuses, then you know what? There comes a time when you just have to set aside some things and say, look, this is where we need to move. This is we need to move in this direction. Now, granted,
I can't. I got too much Willie Lynch in me. I don't want to listen, man. I'm not going this way because if I go that way, the white man gonna take something from me. I can't do that, man. I don't want none of that ice from that black store. It ain't as cold as the white man. I don't want to get no car from that car lot because them black folks, they don't have no real cars. The white man got the real car. That's why that's really why you got that real extra light-skinned girl at your house. because you really want a white woman.
Well, you know the thing. Damn, you threw a hook on me right then. Bam. But the thing, what I found is that a lot of people have asked me in regards to this show, why do we go so hard like we go? And I tell them, because sometimes you have to go hard. You can't come soft at people.
Ain't no tears in this order.
You can't come. No, you can't do that. So I have to go this direction, because if I don't, who will? I mean, literally. Granted, who's going to actually come out like that and say this is what it is?
Let me answer that in some code, because I don't know if there's any flesh on the page. When you had to produce a 2-ball cat, you did that without struggle. You did it effortlessly. But I had to put a gun to your head for you to give me one now. For you to give me a 2-ball can right now, if I said, let me have it right now, you would make me put a gun to your head. And you still would have hesitation. But you did it without struggle in there. But now you want to resist me when I give you information. Because your study habits is his fault. I have the actual minutes and histories of how many and who pressed all petition before they actually got accepted by England. I know the Grand Lodges that told them no at first. I got all of the minutes from when they were 4-letter beforehand. From the same Phylactery Society that's from Great Britain. But I don't put things out to discount and discredit. I keep things to say, hey now, you're talking a little too loud. But I know you're speaking from ignorance because you really don't know.
Hold on just a second. Hey, brother, what's going on, Daryl?
How you doing, brother? I'm sorry I missed your call and everything, but I was tied up because we had that.
Hey, brother Daryl. Before you go on, I'm live on my show tonight. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I know you was on live.
Yeah, I'm on live right now. So hold on just a second, okay?
Okay.
Okay, brother Jackson, hold on just a second. I have brother Daryl on, and he's from International Free and Accepted Mason. Did I say that right, Daryl?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself for me, please.
Yes, how you doing, everyone? My name is brother Daryl International, and part of y'all this evening.
You're gonna get
show anyway. But tonight our conversation is about the rules of Freemasonry. We was clearly saying, and applies to one jurisdiction doesn't necessarily apply to another jurisdiction. You kind of follow me with that?
Right.
And as brother Jackson, I say that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that was
the
but that is our topic for tonight. So if you want to add to that, being a member of International, you're certainly welcome to do so.
Well, the thing is, the way I look at it for masonry is, I don't look at the different order. I believe in all of us as one brother and the sisters. I'm gonna be honest with you. It kills me when we say we this and we belong to this and we belong to that. If we on the same book, going by the same book, why we can't be one family?
Well, actually, brother, we're not in the book. Some of the same principles are the same. International's book is different than Prince Hall. A lot of the core of it is the same, but some of the practices are different. Even with making sure that everyone in the room is a brother. The practice of how all that's even approached is different. Even I've lectured at International in Illinois. So I was introduced and I walked behind another brother. But the way he entered the room and the way that he did his turn, I copied that. I didn't do what I wanted to do. I did what I did in somebody's house. And so as I talked to them, even with brothers who are allowed to sit in the room, I told them, I said, be privileged that you're in here And Grandmaster at the time, Brother Holly, he said he was glad that I spoke on a certain thing because some brothers don't know anything but what they have. That's what our problem is. You don't know nothing but what you deal with. You ain't never been off your block, but you're talking about how tough you are. But as soon as you go down the street, you get whooped on. So you really ain't who you say you are. You know, and we do that. You know, when you say you're the number one football team in the country, that means you played everybody in every state. All the number one.
That's true.
It ain't but a handful of them can say that. If you entered in there, don't talk about how good you are and you didn't enter in there. You know, so you're dealing with your emotions and not the information.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, if what I said before, because we were talking about this at another level, and I don't want to take this conversation from you. Years ago, when UGLE was formed, when the ancients and the moderns came together, they sent word out that all of the records in the books were wiped clean. If you wanted to be a part of UGLE, send in your information, blah, 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 and you'll be counted as one of us, a part of this body. If you do not, then you will be considered clandestine to us. What we have done over the years has taken away the to us part and just said clandestine, as if UGLE is Big Mama and she run everything. UGLE is just the largest Masonic body out there. They are not the only Masonic body out there. So anyone else who is out there who does this, that, and the other, they are not discounted, because when you really look up the true word of clandestine, besides it meaning done in secret, it means you're not recognized as somebody else. But everybody's like that. One don't recognize two, two don't recognize three, three don't recognize four, four don't recognize five. Everybody doesn't do this, that, and other, but they're all in the same room. McDonald's and Burger King don't get along, but they make money.
They make that money.
But churches and KFC don't get along, but they make money.
Hey, I'm going to answer this question real quick. Somebody asked me just now in the chat line, Green, I don't know if he's a Mason or not, but Green Jr. asked me this question. He says, Hawkins, honestly, do you feel you are making progress? Yes. Not only am I making progress, anybody around me, we moving. And if I'm around them, we moving. So anybody I deal with is making progress. So that's to answer your question. Yes, I am making progress, my brother.
There's a 9-inch knife. There's a 9-inch knife in the back of a lot of so-called black Masons. It's only been pulled out 3 inches.
It's still a knife.
It's still a knife in there. It's only been pulled out 3 inches. If we get nothing from whatever the minister chooses to speak on, even with what he spoke on the little words, it's about becoming unified. When it's all said and done, look at the situation that may happen. If there was an uproar and a race riot, and shelter needed to be given to a Mason, you think I'm going to sit up now? We all know AFNAM's going to pull you in, because that's how we get out. But will Prince Hall pull you in? Well, he ain't really with us. Or you're going to say, hey, it's a black man that needs some help. That's why I don't like the narratives and the labels.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Period. Ain't nobody finna ask you about no damn charter, and it's a race riot out here.
Yeah, that is
That's
true.
not how they get out. You know, but we don't want to look at what could happen. You know, it's a lot of places that, you know, I sat at the table with people from all over the world in amity, you know. Treaties are formed because it said, hey, when we meet somebody from where you at, yeah, we all good, we all in fellowship, we know this gonna be all right. That's what it's all about. But when you want to just stay on your house and in your block and all that's fine. It's a lot of people feel different about them women being made up there in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of people feel different about UGLE recognizing somebody, but they don't need the laws. But what did the landmarks say? I'm not concerned about your bylaws. It's one set of landmarks. It's a lot of different jurisdictions in Mason. It's one set of Amun-Res. It's a lot of different churches. It's one Jesus. I don't care what name your church is. It's one Jesus. But all of the applications that you're doing what you want to do because it helps you out. That's why you want to change bylaws, because it helps you out. Well, we don't want to elect. We're going to elect 2 more years. Yeah, because you want to stay in the seat 2 more years. You're getting your rent paid. That's why you're staying in the seat.
That's right.
You're not a past master to me if I don't see membership that came behind you. You're not a grand master to me if I don't see functioning members that you can say that you led.
Yeah, go ahead, Brother Daryl.
Is this Brother Jackson just talking?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir.
Brother Jackson, you know you need to stop, man. You doing too much. You're doing too much, man. So you roll.
So look, gentlemen. So look. So look, we've been on here for about an hour, and I want to before we get ready to tie it up.
Your wife must have came in. Okay, go ahead.
You know what? You and Melvin Little, man.
I'm just saying, bro. I mean, I've seen it. I've noticed how you treat them differently when your wife get home. You want to get off the phone. It's time your wife ain't home. We talk for 2 hours. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, y'all don't pay no attention to Brother Jackson. Hey, but we've been on here for about an hour and some, an hour and a few minutes. But before we go, Brother Daryl, don't hang up the phone when I log off. You stay on because you and I got to talk. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give Brother Jackson the last word for tonight. As we begin to progress and as we begin to move forward in this thing called Freemasonry, I just want to send everybody blessings to their family and hope that they're doing well. And whatever you're doing, I hope that life brings you that joy that you're searching for and that energy that you put behind it. And with that being said, as I always say, stay out the bushes and keep your light on. Brother Jackson, go ahead and close us out.
I want to share with you all some of the words that the minister was speaking to me. I'm not a hoarder of information. A lot of what he has ever said or spoken of in life, for those of you brothers who, you inboxed me and told me about how I helped you, how I speak and what have you. A lot of what I get, I was trained that way because the minister has always said, as long as you're telling the truth and you can show what you're speaking of, why would you have fear? You shouldn't have any fear. And but he said to me, when he heard me talking, he said, you face a lot of adversity, which you don't you? And I didn't have to say yes. Other people who know of me said yes. You cannot be a Mason and keep being Robin. You got to be that man. It says we take good men and we make them better men. If you were raggedy when you came in here, you're still raggedy. You just have all clean clothes. This is an order of a behavior. You cannot continue wasting time defending yourself to people who don't care about you.
Well, you told me that.
Yeah, even the enemy. The enemy's been on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years doing the same destruction. And you find in any type of way in your power, make him feel happy. And that's not what's supposed to happen. We come from a long line of kings and queens. Everything on this planet comes from us. You can't take this order of Freemasonry from Africa and take it to England, then tell me, yeah, nigga, I recognize you. You can do this. Because that's what happened to you, Prince Hall. That's what happened to you. You had no faith in your own, so you begged him for acceptance, and he still don't accept you. Because all 50 states don't accept you like they're told to. Like all them brothers that y'all keep putting out, or your groups that's in Prince Hall that's telling you these things about cozying up to the white man. The truth hurts, man. And whether you get it or not, it doesn't matter. But as long as you keep sitting down to take your PP, you're going to always be who you say you are. A male, not a man.
Ooh.
Love you all.
And with that being said, I know I said Jackson was the last one, but I still have Brother Daryl on the phone. Brother Daryl, you want to give us some words before we close out?
He said a mouthful.
He said a mouthful? Well, since you said a mouthful, I just want to say I thank everybody for coming on again, once again. I hope that you've gotten something out of this, as I had two special guests on tonight. And Brother Jackson know that he has an open line to me, and I want to say thank him once again for coming on tonight and sharing some wisdom and knowledge with us as we discuss the rules of Freemasonry. And this show is set apart like that because we can anybody can call in. This is not that show where it's you got to have some thick skin. When you come on this show, you got to have some thick skin because this is not that cozy type of show. It's not. So with that being said, everybody have a pleasant night until we talk again, chat, however it be. God bless, and take care of yourselves. We out. I think. Oh, there you go.